We didn't think we was gonna see something like this, finals without, or even KD with the Nets. We thought we were gonna see him in the finals for sure, but we're not. But I tell you who we also aren't seeing this finals
Oh
that we're used to
yeah.
seeing.
Oh.
Rachel Nichols.
Oh. I just want to say before we really get into this, I texted my boy Dez just yesterday. I said that one of the best parts of this is that not only do we get Maria Taylor in the finals, now we get Malika Andrews.
Yeah. Let me guess. You have a crush.
Look, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Malika is a beautiful young lady.
Yes, she is beautiful. Yes, she is. Okay, so back to the tea. ESPN bench reporter Rachel Nichols from covering the NBA Finals from the sidelines after a recording surfaced of her making interesting comments about her black colleague, Maria Taylor. Now, you may be wondering, Ashley, why did you have to put out that she's black? Everything's not a black or white issue. Well, this time it is. Just like it is most of the time, okay? Mm-hmm. For those of you who say everything's not black and white and then something racial does happen, it does not affect you. It affects us. We see it.
Right,
okay?
right.
So, back in 2020, this is when it all happened, y'all. Back in the bubble, Rachel Nichols was told she wouldn't be hosting the NBA Finals, which is something that was in her contract. Okay, we're used to seeing Rachel Nichols at the big games, during the big interviews, etc., etc. So, she had the right to be upset that, she was being taken off something that was in her contract. But it's the way she went about it. So she was upset and she made a phone call. Now, Rachel Nichols this is how it got leaked, y'all, for those of you who may be wondering. Rachel Nichols was in her hotel room in the bubble in Florida when she left her video camera on. And then she called Adam Mendelsohn, who was the advisor of LeBron James and his agent, Rich Paul. I believe him and LeBron James co-partnered in the voting situation, getting access to voting in these big basketball arenas. Shout out to LeGoat James for his philanthropy. Just have to say that. But this is who this is. Adam Mendelsohn, close to LeBron, close to Rich Paul. So she was originally calling him to request an interview with Anthony Davis. But then she had to let out her frustration. And we have the clip today. Mervin, roll the clip that has Rachel Nichols in trouble and without a job. Or without a temporary job.
Hey, instead of hosting the NBA Finals, why don't you do Doris' silent reporter job for the NBA Finals? Because guess what that would clear the way for? For Maria to do the hosting. Yeah. So, I have declined. I don't know what their next move is, but they are feeling pressure because of all of that. And I'm trying to figure out how to just, my thing is that I wish Maria Taylor all the success in the world. She covers football, she covers basketball. If you need to give her more things to do because you're feeling pressure about your crappy long-time record on diversity, which, by the way, I myself, know personally from the female side of it, go for it. Just, find it somewhere else. You're not going to find it with me.
Well, guys, can I just say from one of the last things she said was, if you want to basically build your diversity, basically fix your image when it comes to diversity and how you look, because like I said, ESPN has had other racial incidents.
Right.
She was basically saying Maria got her job because she was black.
Right.
And at the time, the Black Lives Matter movement was going on, such and such and such. And then Rachel says, I might too suffer from, the lack of diversity, etc. Okay, yes. See, this is an issue I have, and then I'll get back to the Rachel Nichols thing. Yes, you are too a minority, but the struggles are not the same. They say black women have the dual characteristic of being black and a woman. So that's a double negative. So no, it is not the same. Don't try to say you go through the same thing, because it's not the same. I don't go through the same thing as say my Mexican friends who have people trying to get to the United States across the border. You know what I'm saying? That's a different struggle for mine. I cannot relate to that because we are two different races, okay? And I do not relate to that because it does not affect me. So you can't kind of put yourself in there and say, well, I too am a minority. This ain't the same thing, sis. It ain't the same thing.
Right.
Please let that, you got somebody look up to. A legend in the game, Doris Burke. Trailblazer.
Right.
Who's Maria's Taylor's Doris Burke when it comes to NBA?
Maria Taylor.
Exactly. Like, can you think of another black woman who? Now we have great. We have Robin who?
Robin Roberts.
Oh, Robin Roberts, yes. But Robin Roberts
But she
retired
been back on. She been on ABC for the longest.
Robin Roberts retired and went to ABC, but Robin Roberts was like Sports Center. Mm-hmm. She was, right. I'm talking about on the court, sideline interviewing. Like Doris Burke is back there commentating too. Yeah. Like when it comes to in game, Doris Burke is the legend, the trailblazer.
Doris Burke is pretty amazing at what she does.
I met Doris Burke, by the way. I have a picture of her on my Instagram if anybody wants to go see that, back in Syracuse. Anyways, but let's get back to the Rachel Nichols saga. Mm-hmm. So she left her video camera on for one of her shows, maybe The Jump, maybe it was something else. Probably. But her camera, the video was linked to ESPN's server. So, at least one person at ESPN happened to be watching the video on the server, recorded it on their cell phone, and sent it to others. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Shoot, I'd do it too.
Now, this is a side note. Also, later in that conversation, Mendelsohn, LeBron's advisor, said that between Me Too movement and Black Lives Matter, he had nothing left, and Rachel laughed. I have to throw that in there because that's not getting enough attention from me. Mm-hmm. It's just not. What's so funny about that? Anyways. Now, this all happened a year ago, y'all, and we're just now hearing it. But Maria heard it a long time ago. So what was her response? Maria Taylor told ESPN that she would be continuing. For one, she said she was stepping down from her duties. Mm-hmm. And then a couple days later, she came back and said, actually, I do want to continue hosting NBA Countdown as long as Rachel Nichols isn't involved on the show. Okay? Those were reportedly her terms. ESPN then allegedly agreed. Mm-hmm. But then they violated that agreement almost immediately and decided to keep Nichols on the show as a sideline reporter and just not have the two of them interact. Mm-hmm. Like, come on now. You
can't.
See, this is why...
Because now I got to throw it to you on the sidelines.
This is why... Well, apparently it was a lot of her stuff was pre-recorded, and they were working it out so that they didn't have to interact. This is why... Okay, I'm just going to keep going. But this is why y'all in the situation y'all in.
Yep.
So word on the curb is multiple black ESPN employees told each other after hearing the conversation that it confirmed their suspicions that outwardly supportive white people talk differently behind closed doors.
I mean... we've been saying this for a long time.
Stepping on some toes on that one, ain't you? We've been saying this
for a long time now. People finally seeing it. And look, this is all I know. This all the dang, what was that word you used for me a couple weeks ago? Problematic. This is the only problematic thing I've seen about Rachel Nichols. So I'm not gonna go outright and say anything more bad about her. But
right.
I'm just gonna say, look, what they said.
This is pretty problematic.
It's pretty problematic. You're outwardly supportive, and we appreciate that. But you can't be outwardly supportive and inwardly being like, "Hey, look, that girl
she only got her job. She only got she black.
Not because she played basketball in college. Let's not forget that, and not
because she's covered football.
Right? Not about to say not because she's not one of the best people on College Game Day, which is an amazing show in itself.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Not because of that. It's because she's the diversity hire to make sure we have some color on the set. Not remembering the fact that Jalen Rose was already on Countdown. Most of the players that are on, all the players that are on Countdown are black also.
I mean, it is different though.
I know it's different because it's a woman.
The female black part is the minority.
I'm aware,
portion.
But I'm just saying to say it was a diversity hire because she's black, neglecting all the stuff she's done and all the black accomplishments and all the black people that are already on there. It's like, come on, man. You just say she's better than you at what she does and what you do, and keep.
I'm not gonna compare the two.
I'm not gonna compare, but
because they have very different styles of reporting and hosting.
And you're right.
But I do enjoy Maria a little bit more.
As do I.
Because she really gets into it. You know what I'm saying?
Does.
You see it in her hands. She really gets into it. You can tell she really cares. You can tell Rachel really cares too. But, I'm sorry. I got,
if I had to pick which one to watch before this came out, I'd rather watch Maria than Rachel. I'm just going to keep it real with you.
Because we can go from talking to basketball to you give me a football analogy or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're doing.
She runs the full gambit, if you will.
She does. But Rachel somebody interviewed her or asked her, somebody did something. And they asked her if she's reached out to Maria, and she said she tried to call her, she tried to text her, and Maria is not answering. Of course. Why would she?
I don't have to.
Why would she?
I don't have to accept your apology.
Why would she? Y'all, this came out a year ago in the bubble. Rachel Nichols just apologized on Monday because it got out. Before it got out, and whoever leaked it, I wonder who it was. But before it got out, Rachel had not been punished. There had been no disciplinary action taken towards Rachel at all. The only disciplinary action that I saw was it was a black girl. She was a production assistant or something like that. Maybe she was a digital content creator. She sent it to Maria. She said she didn't send it out, but she sent it to Maria. You know, because she was trying to let us know, hey,
look, this is what they saying about you.
This is what they saying.
Yeah.
And they suspended her for 2 weeks, and then they gave her, I think I read it said, less desirable tasks. Since then, she's quit. So
you know what? I have to do some digging real quick because I know
you are punishing her for what Rachel did, but not punishing Rachel.
Yeah, and
what you doing some digging on?
Because I have a friend who still works in Bristol. Let's see if I can't get some information on all that.
On what's going on.
Well,
I know the girl who sent it to Maria because they put her name in the article, but I ain't gonna put it out there. I found her on Instagram though.
We'll converse about that later. But it's a classic case of you're not sorry you did it. You sorry you got caught. That's what it is.
And she said her issue wasn't with Maria Taylor, it was with ESPN. I'm sorry, but if you say somebody got a job because of the color of their skin,
that's pretty disrespectful.
It's kind of a shot at them.
Yes.
You know, and a lot of times, and I think us as all black people can agree to this, a lot of the time people will say, like when the affirmative action thing happened.
Yeah. Oh, you only got a job because you're black. You're only in
people
the
say,
school.
oh yeah, I didn't get my spot because a black person got it. No, and they only giving black people a spot because affirmative action. I'm just
no, that black person was actually better than you.
When it comes to affirmative action, you have to make some people higher diversity. Like, the world is racist. This country built on racism. So, I mean, what do you expect from us?
Right.
But like we've been talking about all year, because we've been on the black thing, or when it comes to hiring black people in sports, we've been on it all year. Yeah. Hiring more black coaches, NBA, NFL, her talent. We see her talent. If there were a poll, if we were to put a poll up, when the Piers Morgan stuff happened, and he talked bad about Morgan. Remember, I brought up a clip. Him and his weatherman got into it. Remember the black guy?
Right.
And then their job posted a clip, or somebody did, saying, who do you find more attractive, or something like that. And everybody voted for the black weather guy.
Right.
Like, I think we should do that with Rachel Nichols and Maria Taylor. Who do you like watching more, Maria Taylor or Rachel Nichols? Like, Rachel, it'd be different if the girl was not qualified for the job, but homegirl is qualified.
She's more than qualified.
So, you saying she got your job because ESPN needs to fill a quota, or we're trying to be sensitive to the issue. Now, granted, let me just say, I'm not putting ESPN off the hook either. They could have very well done that.
That could have been part of it.
That could have been part of it.
But there's not been one time where I've turned on the TV and Maria Taylor was there, and I've been like, why? And I've been like, oh yeah, she had to be in a diversity hire, or she's only on there because she's cute.
Yep.
Never had that happen.
When I was watching the women's NCAA March Madness tournament, there was some inconsistencies when it came to like the graphics or video that was up, because they give all the good talent to the men's squad and NCAA women's basketball teams. They get the scraps. We saw it with the weight rooms, okay? So on the production end, it was some missed punches. And you know what Maria Taylor was doing? Okay, missed punch, but it's cool. I'm gonna keep the show rolling. I'm gonna keep this going. Y'all see it too, but I'm gonna keep it going. Like, I'm a professional, and I'm sorry, I'm just like, girl, this Rachel, no. Hopefully, LeBron calls you and be like, Rachel, no, no, sis, you need to do maybe some diversity classes. Maybe give her that Felicia Rashad treatment. Give her some diversity classes. Make her go back to training and several different things. Honestly, give the ESPN execs diversity classes. But anyways, Rachel apologized on Monday on The Jump. The Jump is her show, if y'all didn't know, saying She said,
she didn't apologize, really. She just kind of was like,
well, she said she didn't want to let this moment pass without saying how deeply sorry she was for disappointing those she hurt, particularly Maria Taylor. Yes, you did disappoint her. Mm-hmm. Yes, you did. Maria Taylor probably looked up to her.
Probably.
Because Rachel Nichols was big in the NBA before Maria Taylor, right? Rachel Nichols been around for a minute. Yeah. She probably looked up to you. And then she heard this and was like, wow, this is what she really thinks about me. That's the one thing, though. Maria Taylor, she probably not answering your phone calls because you was probably all in her face.
Right, like, oh,
and
what's
then she
up,
heard
girl?
this.
You did it.
Right. And then she heard the audio leak, and it's just like, okay, that's low down. That's fake.
Yeah.
That's fake. But, you know, before the audio leak, like I said, Nichols had no punishment. Now that it's out for the world to see, not because it happened, but because it's out for the world to see, she has been stripped of her duties to host or to sideline for the NBA Finals.
Right.
And now Malika Andrews, a beautiful black queen, will take her spot. And that's all thanks to Maria Taylor. Maria Taylor is a trailblazer. Let's give her her flowers.
Yes,
Maria Taylor put, when the NCAA women's, I mentioned that, had, maybe it was all white women for something. She said, get LaChana Robinson in here and add her. That's a black woman, by the way. She covers the WNBA. Add her to the lineup. And then Malika Andrews. That's somebody Maria Taylor has also been putting on. So shout out to Maria Taylor and shout out to Malika, girl, because you have to doing your thing. Okay? One thing they can't say is, well, never mind, Rachel did it. I'm about to say, one thing they can't say is once you get your spot, the spot, quote unquote, given to you because you black, if you outwork them and you do your job well, they can't say you was just given a job because you're black. But they can, because Maria Taylor has been doing a great job. And somehow, Rachel Nichols has deduced it to her being black. A black woman. Shame on you, Rachel. I hope, ESPN goes further and does make you take diversity classes. And, once again, listen, y'all. In news, I work in news. In TV, okay, we wear microphones. There's a term saying the mic is hot.
It's always hot.
If you ever have a mic on, it is always hot. That is what you are to assume. And the mic was hot in this situation. And it cost you your hot job. The NBA Finals. The biggest moment.
This is what we all watch for.
This is what we all watch for.
What we all wait on.
And you won't be there because you decided to make black statements. Interesting.
What's next?
Well, shout out to Maria Taylor. Do your thing, girl. We watching. Malika, you looking good, girl.
Keep it up, girl.
Keep doing your thing.
Keep it up, girl.
Keep it up.